Welcome back to Magical Videocast. Today we are diving deep into the world of cloud cost optimization with Kapil Jain, CTO at magicaltechterm.com. Kapil, your company recently helped a microfinance company significantly reduce its AWS costs. Can you share some insights into the challenges you faced and the solutions you implemented?
Absolutely, Rahul. This microfinance company was growing at a rocket pace. So it grew from a few $1,000 to $1 million a month. So I mean, as the business grew, the infrastructure cost was high. It was around $500,000 per year. So the challenge was to significantly reduce the cost without compromising the performance and the security. So it was like trying to put a lid on a boiling water without getting scalded.
Wow, $500,000 a year in AWS. Sounds like the cloud bill was giving them a monthly heart attack.
Well, let's say they were eager to find a financial band-aid.
That's a hefty sum. Where did you start?
Well, the first step was to understand the bill, what type of services they are using. So we dove deep into their AWS bill for last 6 months. We identified the services which are consuming, which are like taking more resources, more kind of working hours, right? It was like maybe OpenSearch, it was RDS, it was EC2 Compute, and CloudWatch. So we identified that these services were overused, and because of that, it was a wastage of resources. Thus, it was increasing the cost. So it's just like you find out that you have a monster engine in your car, in your compact car, and it's guzzling the fuel.
Wow, that's an interesting analogy. So open source, RDS, compute, and CloudWatch, those sound like characters from a sci-fi movie.
Well, those are not characters from sci-fi movie. So they are building blocks for any platform, right? So these terms are typically used for AWS, and they were using these services to run their own platform.
And I've also heard over-provisioning is a common issue. How did you address it?
Well, we started with right-sizing the instances, right? We analyze the performance metrics and we find out that, okay, this is the optimal size a particular machine can take. Then we try to implement the auto-scaling part, which is that whenever there is a peak traffic, the resources are being allocated. And if there's less traffic, we take those resources back. So it's like whenever you need anything, you just provide the additional resources. And if there's less traffic, you take them back. So it's like you switch from all you can eat buffet to pay as you go salad bar.
And what about the reserved instances and savings plans?
Well, those are the game changer, because when you reserve an instance, so that gives you approximately 70 to 80% of this. So it's like you reserve an instance for 3 years. So AWS will give you a heavy discount. So what we did was that we analyzed that, okay, these are the constant load that they will get over the years. So we reserved those instances, right? And then we had a saving plan. In the saving plan, we also analyzed the bill and analyzed the traffic, and we found that, okay, this much is the minimum bill that I need to pay. So using saving plan also give you kind of a additional discount of would be 70 to 80%. So it's like getting a bulk discount on your favorite snack while after that you use your coupon.
Companies often use fluctuating workloads. How did you address that?
Well, you're right. I mean, during the festival season, right, their load is significantly high. So what we did was that we use this spot instances, income reserve instances plus on-demand instances. So the combination of all of these is a cost-effective solution for critical workload, and you can handle the off-peak hours and on-peak hours using those particular instances. So this hybrid combination of spot instances also reduces the cost significantly. Yeah. So imagine renting a luxury suite at a hotel, but you're only paying for budget room. That's the magic of spot instances.
But that sounds like a fair deal. And what was the overall impact of these optimizations?
Well, I think we managed to reduce their bill by 80,000 per year. It was around maybe 15 to 60% of their total bill. And the point is that this was not one-time reduction. This particular will be overly. I mean, it's an annual saving for every year. So this was achieved using right sizing. Then we leverage reserve instances, saving plans. Then we fine tune databases, application, and then we 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 change some architecture things as well. So so overall, overall, we were able to reduce this bill significantly.
All right, so they saved $80,000. I mean, that's a huge sum with your help. And that's really fantastic, though. But what does that really mean for them?
Well, they find extra 80,000 for their other activities, right? This allows them to invest in things that directly impact their customers. For example, they spend this fund for their loan processing for the customer support.
I mean, that's what I've heard in the news. And I think whenever I browse the internet as well, there are many companies who face challenges in sustaining cost savings over time. And so, what strategies have you implemented to kind of prevent this cost creep?
Well, we have established a kind of cloud cost governance framework, which includes allocating tax for your instances, budget them, do a kind of a regular cost analysis. And we also train their engineering team to use tools and use learning and use conscious decision about allocating any resource, right? So this approach saves a lot of money because whenever you spin off any instances, you have a conscious decision in your mind that this is going to cost me a bunch of money. So yeah, that was the approach that we took, and we are also exploring. I mean, not exploring. We are also building a tool using machine learning and AI, so that it generally takes up your monthly bill and give you kind of information. Plus, if you say, okay, I want to implement the recommendation, then it will do the things for you as well.
That's a fairly smart approach. And I think you guys know what you're doing. But you have to like really share it with the readers, with the listeners of this podcast. How has cloud optimization contributed? And everybody is kind of interested in achieving their objectives. Companies start with the vision, and all the teams kind of work towards that vision. So this cloud cost optimization per se that your team has undertaken and helped the company achieve, what kind of business objectives did they focus on, and how did they achieve that?
Well, by reducing the cost, they were able to reinvest in areas like customer acquisition,
Mhm.
risk management. This helped them to improve their overall service, expand their customer base, and strengthen their competitive positions. Okay. So ultimately, it's all about driving the business. It is like finding a stash of gold and using it to build bigger and better treasure chests.
What advice would you give other fintech startups? Because I've heard from some of the top CEOs that fintech is an industry and a business that is very volatile and it goes through so many changes. So, in order to optimize their cloud costs, what advice would you give to them?
I would just tell them start getting the visibility of their spending, prioritize cost optimization, embrace the culture of cost consciousness. Then start leveraging the automation tool that also tell you that what type of recommendation that they can provide. And remember, cloud cost is not a single project; it is an ongoing process. So it's a kind of a marathon, not a sprint, and there is no finish line.
So that's a very interesting line that you said towards the end. And I want to tie it to something which is very precious for every company, that's involved in this business, which is the data, the sensitive nature of financial data. And now, given the sensitive nature of the financial data, how do you balance this cost optimization? And you have to deal with security, compliance. It's like you're trying to juggle so many balls, and you're just blindfolded because you don't 100% know what the future holds.
Security was indeed our top priority, and we don't want to compromise uh, the security during our cost optimization. So we layered security features around the platform, such as encryption. Then we have access control. Then we have constant monitoring, right? Plus, we use AWS security tools such as Amazon Inspector, Guard Duty, Security Hub, and there are multiple security things that you can use from AWS. So yeah, so even if we reduce the cost, but we never compromise on the security.
That's really interesting. And I mean, what I read and what I listen, so you essentially turn the finance department into a high-stakes casino. Let me put it this way. And everyone's betting on AI because AI is everywhere. Any industry that you read upon, the latest and the greatest, they might be bashing up AI, they might be saying good things about AI. But AI and machine learning, I mean, they're right up in the forefront, and they're not going away. So what you're saying is that you used AI and machine learning to kind of super smart their loan processing and underwriting processes.
Exactly. Yeah, AI and ML plays a significant role in growing anyone's business. It's not about the finance; it's about anyone's business.
Mhm.
And in fact, our we were not actually we already have built a solution for them to speed up the loan approvals, catching the pesky fraudster, finding a new customer. So we use AI and ML to build up this particular model, and they use it now more frequently and have better efficiencies, right? So yes, I would say AI and ML plays a significant role in any particular organization these days.
That's interesting, and that sounds pretty much like a gold mine. But how do you make sure that all of this tech the tech wizardry that you guys use and that you're so expert at, it doesn't go off track. The train where it starts and it doesn't go off track. So how do you make all of that just follows through a streamlined process day in and day out?
Right. So, Rahul, I mean, normally what we do is that we create a kind of a roadmap whenever we kind of exercise and map it to the success. Success criteria is to reduce the cost without compromising on the performance and the security. So what we did was that we created a technology roadmap, which particular maps to their success. It the advantage of having a roadmap is that it gives us a kind of a clear vision that we should focus on these particular things and ensure that our technology investments are paying a dividend. So we have the APIs which are mapping, which normally maps to financials performance report, and they normally tell us whether we are losing or we are winning.
So that's really interesting. I'm just trying to visualize this. So technology roadmap, and we have the key performance indicators. So you're basically turning the company into a startup. Every day they're going to start feeling that there's something new. So how do you get everyone on board? Because I'm sure that there's going to be so much of pushback, and everyone's kind of used to doing their own thing. With just this digital transformation, they're all right. Let's go ahead and do this. So how did you get everyone on board?
Well, it starts like a leadership will say, okay, let's do it. Right. And we have been investing in our team skills, turning them into superheroes, you can say. We encourage everyone to experiment and learn because future is full of surprises. It's like building a tech platform where everyone wants to play. And I would say that, I'll take one example that I have a DevOps team and a data engineering team. So we focus on the productivity of both teams. We encourage them to improve their productivity. We already have a training session for the productivity. So, it keeps them motivated, right? So that's the thing that we are doing in our company.
You sold me on this idea, Kapil. And for all of the companies out there, who are just starting off and who are just confused, pretty much confused as to how do they survive and they kind of, make sure that they meet their objectives, forget succeeding them. Where do they start?
Well, I would say first take a hard look at your tech stack. Then create a blueprint for improvement. If you point out the services that you are using, and generally see that okay, if there is any particular option to improve, I would say to reduce the cost, then go for it. So it's like journey, not a sprint, as I said. So you need to keep looking at your bill, keep looking at the resources utilization, and see if there is any opportunity to reduce the cost.
But so it seems, Magical is not just looking at the short-term results, but they're looking at the long-term picture. And that's very interesting and a super smart way to kind of, run the business. Any final words of wisdom for the fintech companies out there, who are just trying to get their hands wrapped on this cloud beast?
Well, know where your money is going. Resize your resources like a pro. Take advantage of saving plans. Optimize your database and applications, and keep one thing in your mind that it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So you need to keep improving the things. You need to keep improving the resources utilization, and then we'll be able to reduce the cost.
All right, so very well said. Kapil, this has been incredibly insightful. Now, where can our viewers learn more about all the amazing things that you guys are doing in the cloud business?
Thanks, Rahul, for having me. So, you can visit our website. We have published a white paper, which is called Taming the Cloud Beast. And you can download the white paper, apply those best practices to your infrastructure. And if still you have any particular questions, feel free to contact me or my company. We'll be happy to help you.
All right, so that's great. Another round of applause for Kapil and for our listeners, especially people who've joined this podcast. Do share this video and do comment on this video and do like this video. It's going to mean a lot to us. The people at Madgical, they're doing an amazing job. And Madgical is just getting started. If Kapil's insights haven't convinced you, I don't know what will. And the companies out there, whoever are kind of worried about their infrastructure costs, should take note. Madgical is your lifeline. And with Kapil at the helm, consider financial woes a thing of the past. Thank you so much for joining in.